Mortal Kombat 2 was definitely the best MK game until Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came along. But only the standard builds of 1 to 3 were released on the Sega 8-bits, so that one will have to wait for another day. Or until I get around to doing the Sega Saturn. Mortal Kombat 2 was a hit arcade game from April 1993 that was a definite improvement over the original MK. It was later ported to a bunch of different home platforms such as the Sega Mega Drive, or the Genesis, SNES, Game Boy, PC, Amiga, 32X, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation 1. The game was also ported to the 8-bit Sega Master System and Game Gear in 1993 by Probe and distributed by Acclaim. It's a 1 to 2 player one-on-one fighting game with the idea to beat your opponent over the best of 3 rounds. Now, content wise, it doesn't have as much as the original arcade game or the Mega Drive SNES versions, which were a little bit more closer to the original arcade game. There are only 8 selectable characters this time round, with Lui Kang, Reptile, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung, Mileena, Kitanna and Jax making the cut. Jade, who's a colour swap for Kitanna, and Smoke, who's a colour swap for Scorpion, are the secret characters, with Kintaro and Shao Kahn being the boss fighters. There are only standard fatalities in this version, so there are no friendships or fatalities to be found anywhere, and there are only 2 backgrounds, which really isn't that much of a miss. The game itself looks like a downscaled version of the arcade original. It is true that there's no movement in the backdrops, and there's a noticeable drop in animation, plus the scrolling does seem a little bit jerky, but overall everything's drawn rather well. It looks nice and there's a decent amount of detail to the sprites. Most importantly, the game plays rather smoothly and it feels and looks just like Mortal Kombat. Now, even though I'm playing the Sega Master System version here, I've actually played the game more on the Sega Game Gear. Unfortunately, like most Game Gears, the sound on my machine is gone, and the screen now displays random pixels and shapes instead of the sprites and levels that it's supposed to. I can confirm, however, that the Game Gear version is about 99% the same as this one. It does require a link cable if you want to play in 2-player, and most importantly, blocking is on its own individual button using the start button. Other than that, and the smaller screen, it seems to be virtually exactly the same. The block which helped ruin the Master System port of MK now happens by pressing both buttons 1 and 2, which is much better and makes the game a lot more playable. You don't accidentally block instead of doing Sub-Zero's slide move. Overall, the controls do work well, and the title adapts well to the 2-button control setup. It's very responsive, and I have no real problems with it anymore. In my opinion, Mortal Kombat 2 is the best one-on-one fighter on the Sega Master System and the Game Gear. It's far superior to the other games in the trilogy, and is very good fun to play. So anyway, that's about all I've got to say about it. Let's get on with playing it. This is a full walkthrough, all the way through to the end, so let's get on with it.